Welcome to another continuation of a previous continuation of an episode of Project Dirty Willy. I think that's right. Like I said, this is a continuation of a previous continuation of a episode of Project Dirty Willy. I don't know, I've confused myself with that. We left off with, let's see, I've shown you everything, all the parts and stuff by themselves. We've installed everything onto the skid plate. In this episode, we're going to go ahead and install the skid plate into Project Dirty Willy. And then if we have time, I might show you a couple little features of it here and there. If not, that'll end up in another video. I've been trying to video everything along the way, and somewhere along the lines I've misplaced or lost some footage somehow. But I'm going through everything and trying to piece everything together. So as of right now, everything is done on Project Dirty Willy as of the air system and stuff. But I'm still going through all of the footage and everything. So I guess we'll pick up where we left off from the last video. Well, it looks like the camera's out of focus. Well, it's officially been a week since we've started on this air system. Let's get some lights turned on. Maybe the camera will focus. There we go, that's better. So, like I said, it has been a week since we've started on this air system. It's been a really extensive build on this. I'm getting an early start today. It is just after 6 a.m. right now. So, yeah, I guess that's enough talking. Let's keep working on this thing. So we have our pressure regulator and our air solenoid mounted inside the bumper. This is where the original tank and compressor used to be. So we've got some 1/2-inch air line here that's running up through the inside of the bumper and into the tail light. I've got a light in there, and you can see it's kind of overexposed a little bit. But the reason why I have that in there is because the compressors are going to be underneath the Jeep, and you want to have a remote air filter location. So I built a little ABS plastic box. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit here. Can't really see the bracket, but I just took an L bracket and drilled out the holes. You can see there was already some bolts sticking through, so I just threaded some nuts on there and then mounted the 2 air filters inside of a little ABS box. It's actually only a 2-sided box. Well, actually it's a 3-sided box. You have your front panel here, the bottom, which the 2 filters are these little round things here. They're mounted to the bottom. And then on this side back here that you can't see, there's another little divider, like wall piece. And then the other wall is just the side of the Jeep, and the top is left open. It's kind of more of a splash shield than a box, because I didn't want it sealed because I want them to be able to get plenty of air. You can see the inlets for the filters here. I don't have the hoses hooked to them yet. You can see all this mud splashed up in there, and that may look like a concern, but it's actually really not, because this has never been washed inside here, and after everything we've done with this Jeep, that's all the mud that's gotten up in there. That's not too concerning to me. So we're gonna try to get this underneath here, and the skid plate with the tanks and the compressors, I forget how much it is, but it's like 150 or 160 pounds or something like that. So it's not the lightest thing in the world. And I've got to try to balance it on a jack. Okay, looks like I might have it balanced enough on there. Let's see if we can gently wheel this under here. The hardest part is keeping this thing balanced, because once it decides it wants to tip, it's gonna tip, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like right there, that's a little iffy. This is kind of a two-person job, even if you were just using this as a muffler skid plate, even without all of this extra stuff on it, it's still heavy. Yeah, this is a weird position here. I'm using my leg to bring the jack into place. Okay, we have one bolt started on that side, and we're gonna work on the other side. And I'm just gonna let this small camera over here run so it don't take up too much space with this camera here. And we'll kind of do a little time lapse, I guess. All right, I've got a light under here. Sorry to kind of skip past some stuff there. I did the install. I'll probably just do a time lapse with that, just because this took so long to install. And over here on this side are the tanks and the air lines. Everything is tucked inside of this skid plate, so everything is protected. And you can see this giant wire loom that runs through, well, maybe. You can see this giant wire loom that runs through here, and it tucks onto the other side of the frame, and then it pretty much disappears. That houses all of the airlines, which there are 2, and all of the wiring. A feature that I added this time was kind of a air top-off kind of switch. So let me hop in the Jeep here and try not to shake the camera around too much. So say you're down to 184 PSI. Well, you can see that the compressor switch is turned on, but this is also hooked to the pressure switch in the tank, and that is a 165-200 PSI switch. So that means that it won't kick on until the air pressure drops below 165 PSI, and then will shut off automatically at 200. So this switch is basically just to turn on that pressure switch. I'm gonna open the garage door and start the Jeep, and I'll show you how this can top off the tank. So with the Jeep started, and you can see that I'm at 183. I can come over here, and I don't know if you could hear the compressors or not, but you could see the light up there for the compressors coming on. And that's how I have this switch wired. So even when the compressor comes on automatically, the little compressor lights up, and then when it shuts off, it shuts off. So just at a glance, you can kind of look over and you can see if your compressors are running or not. But if you want to top off the tank, again, let me switch hands with the camera here. You can hit and hold this button here, and you can come over here and you can see that you can top off your tank. So I think that's going to be it for this episode of Project Dirty Willy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you got a little bit of information from it. And like I said, there's still more stuff to come. So if you came across this and you're not a subscriber or you're new to the channel, make sure to go into the channel and check out a couple videos. I've got all kinds of different stuff in there. You can catch up on, the rest of this build. You can see, the rest of this air system and stuff if you haven't seen that already. If you find a video that you like, hit the like button. If you have something to say, leave it down in the comments. And if you find a couple videos that you like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.